Do you remember a time when you waited for something that seemed promising, only to find out it would never come to fruition? This pain is familiar to many. Anticipation creates hope that, when unmet, can turn into frustration and disillusionment. Time drags on, hours turn into days, and the only certainty is the anxiety that grows with each passing moment. Empty expectations often disguise themselves as promises. It could be a love that never materializes, a job opportunity that never arrives, or even a dream that feels out of reach. What hurts is not just the lack of an answer, but what this waiting does to you. The mind conjures up scenarios, imagines dialogues, makes plans that will never be realized. Each notification on your phone becomes a fleeting hope, and every time you check, the disappointment sets in a little deeper. These experiences are not just momentary, they leave marks. Over time, you become cautious. Each new expectation is met with a mix of hope and trepidation. It's a vicious cycle. You want to believe, but the pain of previous waiting whispers in your ear, reminding you of what never came. Creating expectations can be an act of courage, but it also leaves you vulnerable. When you give in to the desire for something to change, you expose yourself to potential disappointment, and this duality is what makes the experience even more complex. The pain of empty expectation is not just about lost time, it's the loss of a piece of ourselves. Each unmet expectation can lead to internal questioning. You wonder if you did something wrong, if you were deserving of what you hoped for. These thoughts start to erode your self-confidence, undermining your ability to believe again. What was once a simple wait becomes a labyrinth of insecurities. Often, the people around you don't perceive the weight of this waiting. They may only see the surface, which doesn't help. The loneliness in this process is palpable. On the outside, you may seem calm, but on the inside, there's a storm of emotions and reflections. You feel trapped between the desire to move forward and the need to wait. This internal battle can be the most painful part of it all. When the time finally comes for you to let go of that expectation, there's a mix of relief and sadness. Relief that you no longer have to wait, but sadness for what could have been. It's hard to detach from what never was. This pain builds up, and you wonder if you will ever be able to believe in the promises that the future might bring again. The empty expectation is an emotional iceberg. What lies above the surface is just a fraction of what is truly felt. And as you navigate through these turbulent waters, it's important to remember that you are not alone. Each of us has felt this way at some point. What we must learn is the art of dealing with this pain, using it as fuel for new hopes, even though the echoes of what never came still resonate in our hearts. The conclusion is inevitable. Waiting for something that never arrives is part of the human experience. The pain can be profound, but the resilience you build along this path is significant as well. Each unmet expectation is a lesson, even if you don't see them right away. And one day, when you least expect it, you may look back and realize that this wait, however painful it was, played a part in a greater process of growth and self-discovery. This is the essence of the pain of empty expectations. Accepting that, although waiting can hurt, it can also teach us to live in the present with greater intensity and to appreciate the small joys that often go unnoticed. Unmet expectations have the power to shape the way you see the world. They alter your perception of what is possible, creating a barrier between you and new experiences. When you allow yourself to wait for something that never materializes, you start to develop a complex relationship with hope. This relationship is marked by a delicate dance between the desire to believe and the need to protect yourself from pain. The first time you face this pain, it can be devastating. Dealing with frustration becomes a daily challenge. You try to rationalize the situation, looking for reasons that justify the unfulfilled promises, but the truth is that often there are no explanations. The uncertainty becomes a weight you carry, like a backpack full of stones. Each unfulfilled expectation adds another burden, making the journey even more difficult. Over time, you begin to wonder if you should allow yourself to hope again. Your trust in yourself and in the promises of others is shaken. You become more cautious in your interactions, measuring your words and actions, fearing that any sign of hope may lead to another disappointment. This protection transforms into a defense mechanism, but it can also become an emotional prison. Developing a shield against pain might seem like a smart strategy, but it also prevents you from experiencing the genuine joy that can arise from new expectations. This creates a paradox. You want to avoid pain, but at the same time, you desire the rewards that come with hope. Life is full of risks, and each new step into the unknown can be both an opportunity and a trap. Empty expectations can manifest in different ways. In relationships, you may find yourself waiting for a partner who never commits. At work, it may be the hope for a promotion that never arrives. These situations, though unique in their circumstances, share a common theme: unrealized potential. What could have been if the expectation had materialized? This question echoes in your mind, turning into a reverberation that refuses to fade away. When you confront these realities, it's common for fear to take hold. The fear of opening yourself up to new opportunities and getting hurt again becomes a constant presence. You begin to avoid putting yourself in situations that might lead to new expectations in order to prevent the feeling of disappointment. This can limit your experiences and make you feel stagnated. It's important to recognize that this pain is not a sign of weakness, but a normal part of the human experience. The vulnerability that comes with expectation is what connects us to one another. By sharing your experiences and frustrations, you might find that many others also face this struggle. This connection can be a relief, as you realize you are not alone on this journey. Additionally, the pain of unfulfilled expectations can be a catalyst for reflection and personal growth. By confronting what didn't come to pass, you can begin to explore your own motivations and desires. What truly matters to you? What do you value in your life? These questions can lead to deeper self-understanding and clearer insights into your own needs. Self-analysis can be painful, but it can also be liberating. Understanding your expectations and what they reveal about you can help you redefine your goals and align yourself with what you truly desire. This inner journey can be challenging, but it is essential for creating a future that resonates with your true essence. As you learn to cope with pain and disappointment, you can begin to develop a new approach to expectations. Instead of clinging rigidly to a specific outcome, you can find freedom by cultivating a more flexible mindset. Allowing yourself to detach from the final result can open up space for new possibilities and opportunities that you may not have considered before. Acceptance is a powerful skill you can develop. Accepting that things don't always go as planned and that life is filled with uncertainties can help you live with more ease. When you stop fighting against what hasn't materialized, you can begin to appreciate what is present in your life. This doesn't mean giving up on your dreams, but rather learning to dance with uncertainty instead of letting it paralyze you. By freeing yourself from the pain of empty expectations, you can make room for new experiences. Each day becomes a new opportunity, a fresh chance to be surprised. You start to realize that life is a series of moments, and each one deserves your attention and appreciation. Beauty can be found in the little things: a smile from a stranger, a meaningful conversation, or even a moment of silence with yourself. The journey to cope with the pain of empty expectations is long and often filled with challenges. But each step you take towards acceptance and resilience is a step towards a fuller life. Learning to open up again, even cautiously, can lead to new connections, new experiences, and, above all, a new perspective on what it means to wait. You may discover that waiting is not just an empty space, but a time for reflection and growth, where you can rediscover yourself and prepare for what lies ahead. Every expectation, even those that don't come to fruition, becomes an integral part of your journey, shaping who you are and who you can still become. Empty expectations can be a fertile ground for self-criticism. When you anticipate something that doesn't happen, it's common to look at yourself and question your decisions. You wonder if you should have done something differently, if your approach was the right one, or even if the expectation itself was valid. This process of self-examination can be painful, but it also provides an opportunity for personal growth. By reflecting on what you expected and why it was significant, you can begin to understand your own needs and desires more clearly. Over time, the pain of unmet expectations can transform into a drive for action. Instead of letting frustration paralyze you, you can use this experience as a catalyst to pursue new paths and opportunities. Often the best decisions emerge from moments of disillusionment. It is in this quest for something more that you may find new passions and interests that you hadn't considered before. The pain of empty expectations can also serve as an invitation to establish healthier boundaries in relationships and personal situations. When you allow yourself to acknowledge your frustrations, you can begin to communicate your needs more clearly. This not only improves your relationships with others, but also strengthens your self-awareness. By understanding what you need and what you expect from others, it becomes easier to create genuine connections that are not based on empty promises. Life is full of changes, and the ability to adapt to these changes is crucial. When you confront the pain of empty expectations, you can start to cultivate a mindset of flexibility. This means accepting that you won't always have control over the outcomes of your actions or the decisions of others. Learning to be more flexible can help you manage uncertainty better and embrace new possibilities as they arise. This flexibility also reflects in how you define your expectations. Instead of rigidly clinging to a specific outcome, you can learn to appreciate the journey and the small steps that lead you to where you want to go. This doesn't mean you should give up on your goals. Rather, you should remain open to different ways of achieving them. This type of mindset can lead to a more fulfilling life, where you feel less frustrated and more accomplished. Furthermore, cultivating gratitude can be a powerful tool for transforming the pain of unmet expectations into something positive. By focusing on the things you are grateful for, you can shift your perspective and find joy in the little things that might otherwise go unnoticed. This daily practice not only helps to smooth out the edges of frustration, but also enriches your life experience. When you focus on what you already have instead of what you haven't achieved, you create a healthier mental space to grow. You might also consider sharing your experiences with others. By opening up about your unmet expectations, you may find that many others are facing similar challenges. This connection can foster a sense of community and support, helping to alleviate the loneliness that often accompanies the pain of unmet expectations. Empathy and mutual understanding can be healing, and may even open new doors to deeper and more meaningful relationships. In this context, it's important to remember that your emotions are valid. Feeling frustrated, sad, or disappointed is not a sign of weakness. It is a genuine expression of your humanity. Allow yourself to feel these emotions, but try not to get lost in them. Acknowledging what you feel is the first step toward overcoming them. By allowing yourself to feel, you are preparing to gradually let those emotions go without clinging to them. Self-awareness is an ongoing journey. Every experience of unmet expectations contributes to your understanding of who you are and what you truly want. As you move forward, these lessons become part of your personal narrative, shaping not only your future, but also your present. When you learn to view these experiences as opportunities for growth, you can transform pain into motivation. The pain of unfulfilled expectations can serve as a reminder that life is a journey, not a final destination. Sometimes what you hope for may not materialize, but that doesn't mean there isn't value in the path you are on. Every step, even those leading you to unexpected places, can offer new perspectives and opportunities. Ultimately, by dealing with the pain of unfulfilled expectations, you become more resilient. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from adversity and find strength in difficulties. Every time you face disappointment and continue to move forward, you strengthen that resilience. Over time, it can become easier to handle uncertainty and pain, allowing you to live a fuller and more meaningful life. The pain of unfulfilled expectations, as painful as it may be, is a part of the human experience. By confronting it, you not only grow stronger, but also become more aware of your own capabilities and vulnerabilities. This journey can be challenging, but it is also rich in learning and self-discovery. Learning to navigate these waters can eventually lead you to a place of greater peace and acceptance. The pain of unfulfilled expectations is a burden that many carry, and while it may feel lonely, it is a universal experience. Throughout life, you may encounter moments when hope turns into frustration. These moments are not just fleeting disappointments. They have a lasting impact on how you perceive the world and interact with others. When you face an unmet expectation, you may begin to create an emotional shield. This protection may feel necessary, but it often leads to a withdrawal that affects meaningful relationships. You may become hesitant to open up to new experiences, fearing the repetition of suffering. This hesitation can limit your ability to connect genuinely with others, creating a self-perpetuating cycle. It is essential to recognize that unmet expectations do not define your self-worth. What you experience may be painful, but it is not a reflection of who you are. The self-criticism that arises is often exacerbated by comparison to others, who seem to have their lives perfectly aligned. This comparison can be deceptive and ultimately harmful. When you find yourself trapped in this cycle of comparison, your self-confidence diminishes. It is important to remember that everyone has their unique journey, and what may appear as success for one person might not apply to another. The truth is that life is not a race but an individual journey that involves ups and downs. Accepting this can be an important step towards self-compassion. Self-compassion requires practice and patience. You can start treating yourself with the same kindness you would offer a friend in a similar situation. Acknowledging your emotions without judgment is a fundamental step. When you allow yourself to feel without criticism, you give yourself the necessary space to process and move forward. The healing process also involves self-awareness. Ask yourself what you truly want and how your expectations align with your values. This can lead to a deeper understanding of yourself and what is truly meaningful in your life. Honest reflection can help redefine your goals and focus on what really matters. Another question to consider is how you define your expectations. Often, we expect things to happen in a specific way, but the rigidity of those expectations can lead to disappointment. By adopting a more flexible mindset, you can allow things to unfold differently. This doesn't mean you should give up on your dreams. Rather, it means being open to different pathways to achieve them. The practice of gratitude can be a powerful tool in this process. By focusing on the things you appreciate in your life, even the small ones, you can start to shift your perspective. This helps ease the pain of empty expectations and can serve as an antidote to frustration. When you recognize what you already have, you create a healthier mental space where you feel less trapped by what hasn't materialized. Furthermore, open communication is essential. Sharing your expectations and frustrations with trusted people can lighten the emotional burden. Often you'll find that you're not alone in your experiences. This connection can provide support and understanding, making the journey feel lighter. In the workplace, it's common to find yourself caught in unmet expectations. Promises of promotion or recognition may seem distant, and this feeling of stagnation can be disheartening. It's important to remember that your worth is not tied to a position or title. You can start exploring new opportunities and networking to expand your professional circle. The pursuit of new opportunities should not be based solely on the desire to escape the pain of unfulfilled expectations. Instead, it should be a way to rediscover yourself and explore what truly motivates you. This can lead to surprising revelations about your passions and interests. In relationships, the pain of empty expectations can be even more complex. Expecting someone to commit or change can lead to deep disappointments. Instead of clinging to those expectations, it's essential to establish healthy boundaries. This involves clear communication about your needs and desires, as well as being willing to accept that not everyone is ready for what you expect. It's normal for expectations to change over time. As you grow and evolve, your needs and desires also transform. Allow yourself to adjust your expectations according to this evolution. This flexibility can bring a new sense of freedom and self-awareness. Embracing uncertainty is another important aspect of life. You can't control everything that happens around you, but you can control how you respond to it. Learning to live with uncertainty can be liberating. Instead of letting fear paralyze you, you can start to see the opportunities that life offers, even if they don't align with your initial expectations. When you allow yourself to be vulnerable rather than protective, you open yourself up to new experiences and connections. Vulnerability is not a sign of weakness. It's evidence of strength. It's a recognition that you are human and that everyone faces similar challenges. Empty expectations can indeed be an opportunity for growth. By reflecting on your experiences, you can discover new ways to express yourself and pursue what you truly want. Over time, this pain can transform into a drive for action. Ultimately, life is a series of experiences that shape who you are. The pain of empty expectations, though intense, is a part of this journey. As you learn to navigate it, you become stronger and more aware of your abilities. Every step you take toward acceptance and resilience is a step toward a richer and more meaningful life. The pain of unfulfilled expectations can be an invitation to reconsider how you relate to yourself and others. In facing this frustration, it is essential to recognize that your emotions are valid. The feeling of disappointment does not define who you are. It is a part of your human experience. Often the way you react to unmet expectations can be more revealing than the expectation itself. When you encounter the pain of unfulfilled expectations, it is important to give yourself time to process these emotions. Allow yourself to feel the frustration, sadness, and any other emotions that arise. This self-acceptance is the first step toward healing. Avoiding or suppressing these emotions only prolongs the pain and can lead to a buildup of unresolved feelings. Take moments to reflect on what you truly desire and how it aligns with your current actions. Additionally, this is an opportunity to reassess your goals and aspirations. Ask yourself if your expectations are truly in tune with what you value. Sometimes, the expectations we place on ourselves are influenced by external factors, such as other people's opinions or social norms. By disconnecting from these influences, you can make decisions that are more aligned with your true self. It's natural to want things to happen in a specific way, but this rigidity can limit your experiences. By adopting a more flexible approach, you open up space for new opportunities that may not have been considered before. Life is full of surprises, and often the best experiences come when we allow ourselves to explore unplanned paths. Communication is another essential aspect to consider. Often unmet expectations arise from misunderstandings or assumptions about what others want or expect. Be clear in expressing your needs and desires, both in personal and professional relationships. When you communicate your expectations openly, you reduce the likelihood of disappointment and create an environment where conversations can flow more healthily. In relationships, it is crucial to establish healthy boundaries. This does not mean shutting yourself off from others, but rather protecting yourself from potential disappointments. By setting clear boundaries, you demonstrate respect for yourself and for others. This can lead to more authentic and rewarding interactions, where both sides have the space to express what they truly want. The pain of unfulfilled expectations can also be an opportunity to develop empathy. When you allow yourself to feel that pain, you can better understand the experiences of others. This creates a deeper connection with those around you, as shared vulnerability can strengthen relationships. By acknowledging that everyone faces their own struggles, you can be more understanding and supportive. It's important to remember that life is an ongoing journey of learning. Every unmet expectation is a lesson, even if you don't recognize it immediately. By reflecting on these experiences, you can uncover patterns that help you make more informed decisions in the future. This critical analysis can be a springboard for self-awareness, allowing you to grow and develop. Furthermore, consider adopting practices that promote self-care. Self-care can take many forms, from getting adequate rest to engaging in activities that bring joy and satisfaction. Take time for yourself, learn to relax, and disconnect from external pressures. These practices can help alleviate the emotional burden that comes with empty expectations. The practice of gratitude can also be a powerful tool. By focusing on the things you appreciate in your life, even the small ones, you can begin to shift your perspective. This doesn't mean ignoring your frustrations, but rather finding a balance between what's lacking and what you already have. Gratitude can help soften the pain of empty expectations and can serve as an antidote to frustration. When you focus on what you already possess, you create a healthier mental space where you feel less trapped by what hasn't materialized. This shift in focus can provide significant emotional relief, allowing you to see life in a new light. It's an exercise that can be incorporated into your daily routine, helping to develop a more positive mindset over time. While the pain of empty expectations can be intense, it can also serve as a catalyst for personal transformation. Each disappointment can lead to a new understanding of what you truly want and how you can achieve it. By allowing yourself to explore new passions and interests, you may discover facets of yourself that were previously dormant. It's natural to feel hesitant about opening up to new opportunities after a setback. However, this hesitation shouldn't stop you from seeking experiences that can enrich your life. Life is a series of experiments, and it's through these experiments that you can discover what truly matters to you. As you learn to navigate these turbulent waters, you can begin to develop a new approach to expectations. Instead of clinging rigidly to a specific outcome, you can find freedom by cultivating a more flexible mindset. Allowing yourself to let go of the final outcome can open up space for new possibilities and opportunities that you may not have considered before. Acceptance is a powerful skill you can cultivate. Accepting that things don't always go as planned and that life is full of uncertainties can help you live with more ease. When you stop fighting against what hasn't materialized, you can begin to appreciate what's present in your life. Ultimately, the pain of empty expectations is a burden that many carry. While it may feel isolating, it is a universal experience. Throughout life, you may encounter moments when hope transforms into frustration. These moments are not just passing disappointments, they have a lasting impact on how you perceive the world and relate to others. Every unfulfilled expectation is a lesson, and how you handle these lessons shapes your resilience. By learning to confront the pain of empty expectations, you not only become stronger, but also more aware of your own capabilities and vulnerabilities. This journey may be challenging, but it is also rich in learning and self-discovery. The pain of empty expectations, while difficult, can be a starting point for personal transformation. The first step is to acknowledge this pain and allow space for it to manifest. Often we try to ignore or suppress it, but doing so can prolong the suffering. Allowing yourself to feel this pain is a crucial step toward healing. When you commit to understanding what you feel, you can begin to explore the roots of your expectations. What are the beliefs that underpin what you expect from others and from yourself? These beliefs, often formed throughout life, can influence your decisions and interactions. When questioning your expectations, you may discover whether they are realistic or influenced by external pressures, such as society or family. A useful exercise is to write down your expectations and, next to them, note what actually happened. This can help you see the difference between what you expected and the reality. Over time, you may notice patterns that indicate when your expectations are more likely not to be met. This practice of self-awareness can be a way to better understand your emotions. Another approach is to learn to differentiate between expectations and desires. While an expectation can create internal pressure, a desire is simply an expression of what you would like to happen without the same emotional weight. By focusing on desires instead of expectations, you can alleviate the pressure you feel. This can allow you to live in the present with greater ease and less anxiety about the future. It is important to remember that relationships, both personal and professional, involve multiple parties. Communication is essential to align expectations. Many disappointments arise from a lack of clarity about what each person expects from the other. Open and honest conversations can help set boundaries and avoid future frustrations. When you express your needs and listen to those of others, you create an environment of mutual understanding. Self-awareness can also guide you in choosing the people you associate with. Sometimes you may have unmet expectations because you are aligning with people who do not share the same values or goals. By choosing your companions more carefully, you can build healthier and more satisfying relationships. This does not mean excluding people who do not perfectly fit your expectations, but rather recognizing where you can invest more emotionally. Another dimension to consider is flexibility in your professional life. The workplace environment often creates expectations that don't materialize, leading to frustration. Recognizing that your career may take unexpected paths can open up new opportunities. Instead of fixating on a specific promotion, for example, be open to new roles, projects, or even career changes. This flexibility can lead to valuable discoveries about your skills and interests. The pursuit of new learning experiences is an effective way to cope with the pain of unmet expectations. By focusing on acquiring new skills, you can redirect your energy positively. This approach not only helps fill the void left by unfulfilled expectations, but can also enrich your life in unexpected ways. Courses, workshops, or even hobbies can be sources of renewal and satisfaction. In addition, developing a self-care routine is essential. Take time to care for yourself, whether through physical exercise, meditation, or activities you enjoy. These practices can help alleviate stress and anxiety, allowing you to face your emotions more clearly. When you feel good about yourself, it becomes easier to handle disappointments. The practice of gratitude, as mentioned earlier, can be a powerful tool. Creating a gratitude journal where you record the things you are thankful for each day can shift your perspective over time. This not only helps soften the pain of unmet expectations, but also reinforces the idea that, even in tough times, there are positive aspects in your life. When you start to see the bright side of things, even if they are small, it can have a cascading effect on your mindset. Gratitude can help you cultivate a sense of abundance rather than scarcity. This shifts the way you perceive your expectations and helps reduce the frustration associated with them. The process of accepting that life is full of uncertainties is ongoing. As you practice this acceptance, you may begin to see the beauty in imperfection. What you least expect can often lead to valuable and meaningful experiences. By opening yourself up to the unknown, you might discover opportunities that you never would have considered if you were fixated on a specific outcome. Lastly, it's vital to remember that you are not alone. Talking with friends or professionals such as therapists can provide support and a variety of perspectives. Sharing your experiences can lighten your emotional burden and help you find solutions that you hadn't thought of before. Social support is a precious resource that can help you navigate the pain of empty expectations. These interactions can also strengthen your relationships, as shared vulnerability often leads to deeper connections. When you open up about your struggles, you may find that others are facing similar challenges too. This creates a sense of community and understanding that can be comforting. The journey of dealing with the pain of empty expectations is a continuous learning process. Each disappointment can be an opportunity to rediscover what is important to you and how you can align with it. By cultivating gratitude, flexibility, and communication, you can transform the pain of empty expectations into a catalyst for growth and resilience. Life is made up of moments, and each one brings with it the chance to learn something new. By facing the pain of empty expectations head-on, you not only become stronger, but also more aware of your own capabilities and vulnerabilities. This journey of self-discovery can lead to a brighter and more fulfilling future. As you progress on the path of dealing with the pain of unfulfilled expectations, it's crucial to recognize that every experience, no matter how challenging, has the potential to teach you something. The learning process may be gradual, but the key is to remain open to these lessons. This might mean reevaluating your priorities and understanding what truly matters to you. Self-reflection should become a regular part of your routine. Ask yourself what you truly want to achieve and how your expectations align with your values. This will not only help clarify your goals, but also prevent you from having unrealistic expectations in the future. This clarity can serve as a guide that leads you to more informed decisions that align with who you truly are. Additionally, it's important to establish a support system. Talking to friends and family about your expectations and frustrations can provide emotional relief. Often, those around you have similar experiences, and sharing those can create a safe space for discussion. This support can be vital for your emotional recovery. Another effective strategy is to set smaller, more achievable goals. Instead of focusing on a big goal, break it down into smaller parts that you can manage. This not only eases the process, but also allows you to celebrate small achievements along the way. Every step taken is progress, and recognizing this is essential for maintaining your motivation. Practicing self-care should be a constant priority. Make time to engage in activities that you love, that energize you, and bring you joy. This can include hobbies, physical exercise, or simply moments of peace to relax. Self-care is not just a break, it's a way to recharge your energy and strengthen your emotional resilience. Finally, keep a journal where you can record your emotions and reflections on your expectations. Writing can be a powerful way to express what you feel, helping you process and understand your experiences. This exercise can provide clarity and facilitate acceptance of what didn't come to fruition, allowing you to move forward in a lighter and more conscious manner. Before you go, do two things right now. Take a deep breath and hold on to what touched your heart today. And if it makes sense, share this story with someone who also needs to hear it.